3.3 The Last Leaf. In the poorer parts of New York, there was a colony where many struggling artists lived. Among them were Sue and Chauncey. They had come to New York from different parts of the United States. When they met, they found that they shared the same interest and they became friends. They shared a flat and set up a joint studio, trying to earn a living through art. Chauncey was small, thin, and not very strong. After spending a few months in New York, she became ill with pneumonia. In those days, it was not easy to cure pneumonia patients. Though Sue looked after her well, Chauncey showed no signs of improvement. One day, the doctor told Sue that Chauncey had one chance in 10, and that chance is for her to want to live. He said, "Your little lady has made up her mind that she is not going to get well." He told Sue that medicines alone did not help patient did not wish to live. That day, Chauncey just lay in bed without making any sound or movement. First, Sue thought that she had fallen asleep, but then she noticed that Chauncey was looking out of the window and was counting something again and again in a very low voice, almost a whisper. Sue too looked out of the window, but there was nothing to see. Only an old ivy vine, gnarled and decayed at the roots, climbed halfway up the brick wall. The cold breath of autumn had taken away most of the leaves. Only the skeleton branches were left, clinging to the bricks. "What is it, dear?" asked Sue. "6," said Chauncey. "They are falling faster now. 3 days ago there were almost 100. It made my head ache to count them, but now it's easy. There goes another one. There are only 5 left now." "5 what, dear?" "Leaves on the ivy vine. When the last one falls, I must go too. I've known that for 3 days. Didn't the doctor tell you?" "Oh, I never heard of such nonsense," said Sue. "What have old ivy leaves to do with your getting well? And you used to love that vine so." "Don't be silly. The doctor said that you had excellent chances of getting well. Take some broth now, and let me get back to my work." But Chauncey just kept looking out of the window. "There goes another. No, I don't want any broth. That leaves just 4. I want to see the last one fall before it gets dark. Then I'll go too." "Chauncey," said Sue, "will you promise me to keep your eyes closed and not look out of the window until I'm done working? I must have those drawings in tomorrow. I need the light. Otherwise, I would have closed the window. I don't want you to keep looking at those silly ivy leaves." "Tell me as soon as you have finished," said Chauncey, closing her eyes, "because I want to see the last one fall." "Try to sleep," said Sue. "I must call Barham up to be my model for the old man that I'm drawing. I'll not be gone a minute." Old Barham was a painter who lived on the ground floor, but he was a failure in art. For 40 years he had wielded the brush but had not made any money. He had been always about to paint a masterpiece, but had never yet begun it. For several years, he had only made a few paintings. He earned a little by serving as a model to the young artists in the colony who could not afford other models. He always talked of his coming masterpiece. Sue told Barham about Johnson's fancy. Old Barham was shocked that anyone could have such idiotic imaginings. What? He cried. Are there people in the world foolish enough to die because of leaves dropping off from a vine? I have not heard of such a thing. Why did you allow this thought to enter her brain? She is very ill and weak, said Sue. The fever has made her mind full of fancies. This place is not good for Miss Johnsy. Some day I'll paint a masterpiece and we shall all go away. Yes, said Bearman. Johnsy was sleeping when the two went upstairs. Sue showed Bearman the ivy vine that Johnsy saw through the window. They looked at each other for a moment without speaking and then began their work. Outside, a cold rain was falling continuously, mingled with snow. Sue closed the window. Next morning, when Sue woke up, she found that Chauncey was staring at the closed window again with dull, wide open eyes. Open the window. I want to see, she ordered. Sue obeyed. But lo, even after the rain and the fierce wind that blew throughout the night, there yet stood against the brick wall one ivy leaf. It was the last on the vine, still dark green near its stem, but with its edges tinted with yellow. It hung bravely from a branch some 20 feet above the ground.